Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Rangeland management. A rangeland is an extensive area of land which contains forage grasses and legumes and other herbage plants where animals like cattle, sheep and goats can graze. The forage plants such as the grasses and legumes used for grazing by the farm animals are called pasture. Importance of rangeland. Rangeland provides food for livestock, especially ruminants. Grasses and legumes in the rangeland, when cut at early flowering stages of growth, can be preserved in the form of hay or silage. Rangeland allows animals to exercise their body. The animals have access to varieties of forage, thus eating balanced feed. Rangeland reduces the cost of feeding animals, especially ruminants. Rangeland increases infiltration and percolation of water, thereby reducing runoff and soil erosion. Dead plant materials from rangeland build up the fertility of the soil. Characteristics of rangeland. Rangeland contains high-quality grasses and legumes. It contains no weed except some plants for shade. Selected grasses and legumes are grown in adequate proportion. It has a high regenerative ability after being fed on by animals. It can withstand trampling by farm animals. Now, we look at the common grasses of livestock in rangeland. Common name, we have the elephant grass. The botanical name is Penicetum piperum. Guinea grass is Panicum maximum. Giant star grass is Cynodon platostatum. Carpet grass is Azonopus compressus. Spear grass is Imperata cylindrica. Bahama grass is Cynodon dactylum. Northern gamba is Andropogon gaianus. Southern gamba is Andropogon tectorum. Centro is Centrosema pubescens. Stilo is Stylosanthus gracilis. Kuzu or Puro is Pureria fascioloides. Calapo is Calopogonium muconoides. Mucuna is Mucuna utilis. Sunhemp is Crotalaria juncer. Factors affecting the level of production of herbage. We have rainfall. Rainfall is needed for the continuous growth of grasses and legumes. Rainfall helps to dissolve nutrients and makes it available to pasture plants. 2. Grass and legume mixtures. Pasture or rangeland should include a mixture of grasses and legumes because legumes help to increase the fertility of the soil for rapid growth of the grasses. 3. Grazing. The range should be carefully planned to ensure adequate grazing by animals. Rotational grazing should be adopted to provide opportunity for the grazed plants to regenerate. Overgrazing, a condition whereby there are too many animals on a piece of grassland feeding on the herbage, should be avoided. 4. Removal of trees. Trees within the rangeland should be cut off since they can provide shade that might prevent grasses and legumes from receiving adequate sunlight. This can reduce the productivity of herbage. 5. Fertility of the soil. The soil on which herbage plants grow must be fertile so that their production can be enhanced. 6. Control of weeds. For herbage plants to improve their productivity, weeds must be removed from the rangeland regularly, since they compete with herbage plants for nutrients, space, and sunlight. 7. Avoidance of overstocking. The correct number of animals should be allowed to graze on a specified area of pasture. Methods of rangeland and pasture improvement. To ensure the continuous availability of grasses and legumes, it is necessary to adopt some management principles that would lead to the improvement of rangeland and pasture. Such principles include controlled stocking, reseeding, legume and grass mixture, paddocking, avoidance of overgrazing, use of fertilizers, pest control, controlled burning, and irrigation. We'll take them one by one. Controlled stocking. This refers to the situation whereby the correct number of animals are allowed to graze on a particular area of land. An adequate stocking rate should be maintained, as overstocking could lead to deterioration of the range land. Reseeding. This involves replanting of seeds of forage crops on a depleting rangeland. When animals have grazed a lot on a rangeland, the crops may start to show signs of dying off. Then reseeding becomes necessary. The farmer should improve on the range by broadcasting new seeds and allowing the rangeland to rest. Reseeding is most beneficial when or where rotational grazing is practiced. Legume and grass mixture. In a natural grassland without legumes, the farmer may improve it by introducing legume seeds into the rangeland. Legumes provide protein for animals and also add nutrients to the soil. Once the legume and grass mixture has been established, it should be maintained. Legumes such as Spiraea, Centrosema, Stylosanthus, etc. can be used. Paddocking. Paddocking involves dividing the rangeland into a number of sections with fences. The animals normally feed on each section on a rotational basis. This allows for good regeneration of forage crops and prevents the pests and diseases to build up. While the animals are grazing on one section, others will be at rest. The farmer may cut forage for hay and silage from the resting rangeland. Avoidance of overgrazing. Overgrazing involves constant grazing and cutting of forage crops such that the crops start dying and the land becomes bare. Overgrazing and overstocking should be avoided as it leads to the destruction of rangeland and erosion. It also leads to the overgrazing and soil pulverization. Use of fertilizers. Fertilizers should be applied to rangeland plants. This ensures enough foliage formation for grazing and silage preparation. Compound fertilizers, example NPK, should be applied once every year or two. Pest control. In order to destroy some pests of crops and animals, it may be necessary to spray the rangeland with suitable pesticides. This ensures that the rangeland is pest-free. It reduces the rate of diseases from spreading. Controlled burning. This aids regeneration of forage crops. It also sanitizes the rangeland, that is, by getting rid of weeds, seeds, diseases, organisms, and pests. It adds some nutrients, example, potassium, to the soil. Irrigation. Rangeland should be irrigated especially during dry season to ensure an all year round availability of fresh and succulent grasses.